Hey, if it's Thursday, it's spoiler alert. Welcome to the show. We have a pre-show comment, and it's from Walt's mom. Maxine.
Hi, Mom!
She says, good afternoon, y'all. Thank you, Maxine, for chiming in before the show.
And I will call you after the show, Mom.
Yeah. Walt, call your mom.
I will call you after the show.
That's so important. Hey, if you're watching us, you can leave your own comments here. And we want to hear what your thoughts are on Loki episode 5. This is a spoiler alert. It's called spoiler alert. We're going to be talking about it. So if you haven't seen the episode or whatever reason you don't feel like it's appropriate to watch this right now, then go watch the episode and then come back and check with us later, because we're going to give it all away quickly. And we got so much to give away. Holy cats.
We're unpacking a couple of trunks worth of stuff.
This was a super crazy episode. We are broadcasting live on my Facebook account, which is that right there. We are also broadcasting on the Taskforce Geek YouTube channel, and we're on Dirk Hooper Plus. Last week, we broadcast on my other unnamed Twitter account, which is why we had a lot of people watching. But I'm also sure that the people, it's just not the right crowd. That crowd is not right. Although we did pick up someone who actually was a dominatrix that talked to us through the whole episode, which was awesome.
Oh, hopefully, it was great.
Hopefully she will. Hopefully she will find us over here. She did follow us, so I hope that she's following us. But anyway, give us your comments. We want to hear from you wherever you're at, and we're going to be talking about, here it comes, Loki episode 5. Again, this is your last chance to get out of here. If you don't want to hear about the episode, so much stuff happened. We're only one episode away from wrapping this whole thing up, and boy, did they throw cats and dogs and everything else at us on this episode.
Yes, they did.
Cats, dogs, alligators, frogs,
alligators,
the whole 9 yards.
Oh, we got Jim.
Hey, Jim. What's up?
Hey, Jim.
What the? Jim's going to check us out during the day. How about that? Nice to have you on here, man. All right. Well, Jim, I hope you have watched the episode. We're about to get into Easter eggs.
If you haven't watched it, Jim, you better run. You better run.
Get off of here. Watch it. Watch the episode, and then hey, if you're I know that some people like to have stuff spoiled for them. Yeah. Like they want to know what to look for before they watch the. I'm not of that mind. I would rather be in the void and not know anything, and then see the thing, and then have the entire episode, watch the entire episode at once.
If you haven't seen it and you leave, we won't be upset. Just come back and watch this later.
Yeah, this will be on Facebook, it will be on Twitter, and it will be on YouTube. You can watch it later, and we hope you do. And you can even leave comments then too. We'll still listen. On any of our stuff, you can still leave comments. Oh, by the way, we got a content warning last time because someone said a-hole. It was probably me.
They said it was.
They said this is a term that could demonetize your channel, and it's like, that's not a threat. You guys haven't monetized us.
And we're not even monetized yet. So okay,
we're not monetized yet.
Not a threat, YouTube. Not a threat.
Yeah, we're not worried about
monetize this, and then you can hold that over my head.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I would be glad to be threatened with monetization,
because we would love to take this show on the road.
We would love to, and we might be coming to Texas. Goodness. Well, spoiler alert: we might be coming to Texas in September.
Yes.
Ranking Studios in general, along with Bad Candy, who's really the impetus for us going. And, if we go to Fan Expo in September, might as well break it. If we go to Fan Expo and I'm there and Sean's there and Scott's there.
I'll definitely be there.
Right? I mean, you guys are in Texas. You guys are in Dallas.
I hate to ask, but how much are tickets?
I am going to. I have no idea. Yeah,
this will be the poor one that probably will meet up with you guys afterwards.
Right. I hear you. I'm in kind of the same boat. But hey, go buy a T-shirt, folks, and get us to the Fan Expo and
yeah.
Anyway, if we go though, I will definitely run around and do interviews with every person that will talk to me. including I just saw that Adam Savage is going to be. I'd love to talk to Adam Savage.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'd love to have a Task Force Geek interview with Adam Savage. That'd be awesome.
Great.
So anyway, we might be coming to the Big D. Just so you know.
Party at Walt's house.
Let's add this to the stream. Oh, hey. The episode was called Journey into Mystery, which was the old comic book that ran until, I believe, 1966, the Marvel Marvel comic universe. And that's one of the issues right there.
Never before has
Journey
the mighty...
Right.
I have to do it. Never before has the mighty Thor faced a foe as dangerous as Loki, the god of mischief.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun. And you see that he looks like the old classic Loki version, which was very prominent in this episode, and also very cool, I might add. Let me shrink this down to regular size, and let's go on to the next deal here. So, right at the beginning, we're just going right straight into Easter eggs. We'll break apart the episode by plot here in a minute, but this really was the Easter egg episode. It also had a lot of very important things in it. But if you're into Easter egg,
okay.
So it says Kang.
Yeah, I couldn't read it because of course you can't get the TV
Q-E-N-G, Kang. It's pronounced Kang.
Yep.
And we've talked about Kang before, folks. In the comics, Tony Stark sold the Avengers Tower to a guy who became Kang. K-A-N-G. In this case, he was in the Marvel universe, in the Marvel comic universe, he was Q-E-N-G. So this is yet another Easter egg, folks, for Kang. We've talked about how Kang is coming.
Just a side note, Walt, does the ruined tower look suspiciously like Godzilla to you?
Oh, like You're the welcome. Eyes and nose and then the mouth?
You're welcome.
Wow. Yeah, I can see that too.
Hey, and as we all know, Godzilla once existed in the Marvel universe. So.
Yes.
Just really loved the opening sequence of episode 5 where they could have just, started out in the middle of this thing, but they really took a long tracking motion as they went through the entire environment there and built that up.
Let's not forget. And let's not forget, building up to this little scene right here, there was also a temple that seems to be in Shang-Chi in the Ten Rings just before this. So,
okay. So I have a lot of stuff, but I'll tell you this, I won't catch everything on here. So
I was longing for the days of slow tracking. Remember when you could slow track your VCR?
Oh, yeah.
I was longing for slow tracking when I watched this. Just to try and catch everything.
I looked at it once and then also took some notes on some, the internet's information. And this is an episode that I will probably watch many times. Mm-hmm. I will rewatch this series many times for exactly that reason. Hey, Brian James says, unbelievable performance thus far, Mr. Hooper. Your best to date.
I don't know. Come on.
I'm not so sure about that. feel like maybe I might have had some other days that were higher. And Maxine checking in from Facebook now. Originally from YouTube. From YouTube. And now from Facebook. Look at that. Welcome, Maxine. Welcome. It's great to have you here.
We need the numbers.
No matter, right. Watch from both. Watch from every device you have. If you have like an iPhone and an iPad and a television that will go to YouTube and Twitter and Facebook, then just log in on all of it.
Yes, please do.
Tell your friends to log in. Even if they hate us, tell them to log into us and watch us.
My favorite is I watched, but I had no idea what you were talking about, because that's not my thing. But they watched anyway. So,
that's good enough. Look, that's the dream right there. Is people tune in whether they know what we're talking about or not. They just tune in to see us. That would be wonderful.
That would be great.
My sister's been playing all of the Taskforce Geek stuff for Mom that I've been on, just so
Really?
Mom can see me. Yeah, she's like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about, but hey, why not? It's great.
Awesome. That's a good deal. My mom is the same way. She doesn't know what the hell we're talking about, but she will watch it. But moms are like that.
Yep.
Let's see. Let me also say here, Gigi says, who is watching from 2 devices, says, have to agree, a wonderful job, Mr. Hooper. There we go. Once again. All right. This is Alioth,
Yes.
who is a comic book character.
Yep.
Who has been very prominent in the comics and is known to, kind of like Galactus, has been known to eat and destroy worlds, right?
Yep. Eats everything.
What's also interesting about this character is, spoiler alert, Kang in the comics fought and defeated this guy. So it is So once again, another connection to Kang, and Kang, if he's the guy who's at the end of the show, might have defeated this character and used him as a guard dog. Maybe. We don't know yet.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see how they weave it in. And
we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yep.
Steve.
What's up, Steve?
The last time we had an episode of Taskforce Geek, we sure missed you. It's nice to see you here, buddy. Hello to you. So that is Alioth. That's a pretty damn good picture of him right there.
That's a very good picture of him.
His head looks like a snapping turtle.
It does.
Yes.
Is Alioth a he? Should that be gender neutral? Have I misgendered?
I'm just going to say it.
All right.
Well, technically, it probably isn't it. I mean,
they, them.
It's they, them. It's a maelstrom entity.
It's nice to have you back there, Steve. We need to hear from you, man. Hey, we got a pretty good crew here today. Thanks to everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Thank you, guys, for tuning in today. We appreciate. Well, what the heck? Here comes Grant.
We're getting love all over the place.
Hey to Grant. This is awesome, folks. We got a daytime crew here. What the what?
I love it.
I'm gonna need more coffee. I'm gonna need more coffee.
I need more coffee, but I'm out.
Oh no.
I got like 2 or 3 sips left.
Another Easter egg. This is Yellow Jacket's helmet from Ant-Man.
Yep.
And it's huge.
It is quite large, which means that maybe Yellow Jacket became a version of Giant Man.
That was his was his Nexus.
But the last we saw of that dude is that he was shrinking into the quantum realm. Anyway, I guess he got dumped out of here. or a variant of him got dumped.
Or a variant of him went big, is what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm. Right, and maybe that's the reason why they dumped him here.
That was his Nexus event.
Mm-hmm. Right. This show was so much fun with all of this. If you're into the Easter eggs, here it is, folks.
This was awesome.
All right, this is the thing that broke the internet here.
Yeah, this is totally
is what everyone noticed, which was the accurate, real accurate version of the Thanoscopter. Lost here in the void. For those of you who are not aware, back in the 80s, one of the earlier...
Was it the 70s, the late 70s?
Maybe.
I think it was the late 70s, yeah.
Maybe, one of the early versions of Thanos ran around in a G.I. Joe helicopter or something.
Yeah.
He wasn't as cool as he became. He became cooler.
I feel it was the late 70s because I think they were playing off the whole
I'm sure you're right.
thing.
I'm sure you're right.
I think Shank gave us the answer there.
All right. He said
79. Yep.
He says 1979. So there we go. Gary, how about Gary? Says, man.
Totally with you, Gary. Totally with you, man. Yes.
You know what? They keep outdoing themselves.
Loki is my favorite Disney plus Marvel production yet. Totally agree. I need a Loki Sylvie movie or show after this. Yep. I totally agree, although I also want an alligator Loki.
You know what? I want.
Or as I'm calling him, Croaky.
I'll go one step further and say I want old Loki. I want to know his backstory.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
We'll talk about.
We'll get into that.
We'll
too.
talk about him in here in a minute. And I have a Loki and Sylvie, whatever conspiracy theory coming up.
Okay. I'm
To
all
be
for
continued.
I'm
Anyway,
all for
the second thing someone posited might be the missile that the classic Ant-Man and the Wasp went after and deactivated.
Oh, I didn't even
Ant-Man.
think of that. Yeah.
Might be that missile.
Huh. Interesting.
Maybe.
Yeah, I didn't think of that either.
I didn't think about
That's
that.
not confirmed or anything, but that's,
No, but that's
what
a
someone
good
said.
theory.
I thought that was pretty good. I got.
That's the one.
You
that
see,
was
I have
alluded-
my cursor going here.
Yeah.
The cursor's over on my right screen. If I go left, it comes to my actual screen where I do everything, and that is really messing me up, folks.
I will say right now, the missile is the thing that has been.
It's been
Eluding
vexing
you.
you,
Yeah, that's
as
the
me
one.
too. That's the
Yeah.
best explanation that I've heard. Although it isn't the same colors as the Thanoscopter, is it possible that Thanos dropped a missile on the Avengers or something, and maybe that's the
Well, the comic that
like?
he was
Because I never
in,
read the comic, I don't know.
Well, the comic that he was in wasn't actually an Avengers comic. It was one of those Spider-Man type team up things. And
like Marvel Team Up.
It wasn't Marvel Team Up. I can't remember the name, but it featured Spider-Man and I think Hellcat.
Okay.
And those were the two who apprehended Thanos.
All right. Really?
Yeah.
In answer to
That's funny.
well,
That's how weak Thanos was back in the day.
in answer to Steve's question, yes, it was Deadpool issue number 250 is when the Thanoscopter showed up in Deadpool.
He showed up in Deadpool?
Deadpool issue number 250.
Good Lord. Gary says, wasn't Loki riding a missile in that first Loki picture I posted?
Let's go back and see.
One moment, please.
Hold on. Technical.
Un momento.
Was that the first picture?
No, one more. There
That
you
one. Un momento,
I-
por favor.
I'm going to say that he's on a tower. I think he's maybe on a tower there. Although that's an interesting thought. You know, look, I don't propose to know all the answers here. So if you guys have a different take on this or whatever, please do. One of the things that continued to show up on the landscape was it doesn't even show them, but the trays that they have in the TVA. Those trays are littered everywhere in the void.
Yep.
Including buried underneath the thing and everything else. Anyway, that's why this picture's on here, is because of, everyone in the canteen or whatever there. Steve says that he wants a Thanoscopter. I think we all do.
There are Thanoscopter toys out there.
Are there?
Yes.
Like old Mego toys or something?
No, there's I think there's a Lego set.
Oh, I need
wow.
that. Yeah,
'Cause-
I need
'cause
that.
That's even cooler.
I think it's one of those little. There's a like a kiddie play set that's got a Thanoscopter. When I was looking up Thanoscopter, I found all sorts of toys of Thanoscopter. Some that are like you can find at the store or online, and then some that were fan made.
Steve says, "Don't tell me that, Walt."
I'm telling you that, Steve. I'm
right there with Steve. Don't tell us that.
I am
not-
telling y'all that.
Gary, I'm not going to put your comment up yet
You
because
were
that's
evil.
coming up here in just a second. There is the Mjolnir. There's the trays. There's the trays that I was talking about, and I mean you can see there's a lot of stuff in there. Man, I mean, why throw away a perfectly good Mjolnir?
I'm telling you, man. Well, obviously somebody couldn't pick it up.
I know why.
Right, and
I
so
know
it got
why.
buried under all the rest of the junk.
I know why.
Why?
Oh, we're coming to that part.
Oh, okay.
Because it was right after this.
Oh well, yeah.
And there's why.
All right, Gary. Gary called it. The Thor Frog in the jar underground was his favorite.
Yeah,
So this character
rolled around on the floor.
Help us out here. What's that character's name, folks? I have it in my notes, but
Frog.
There you go, Throg, and the Thor Frog. By the way, for those who don't know, that's the Thor Frog, right? And
variant
Thor 365 is the episode that character appeared in. The more you know.
He's epic.
Everyone was pretty excited to see that frog in there.
I love
you
the
can see him pretty good
scale.
there. Yeah, right. There's the fork.
The fork for scale.
And then he's jumping around in there. He wants out. Look, he's got the wings on his head.
Yeah, and he's trying to.
He's got the red cape and the old classic Thor with the whatever
And he's jumping up toward Mjolnir, trying to get it.
He's trying to get Mew Mew.
He is, because if he can get that, he can get out of there. Why is he in a specimen jar? Someone let that guy out.
Funny thing about Throg that was one of the few comic issues my husband actually remembered reading as a kid.
Steve, really?
Yeah, he got a chuckle out of Throg.
When someone said Thor is, because when you work in the comic industry or you work in a comic store, people will come in and go, so Thor's a frog now, and you'd be like, what?
What? Yeah.
And they'd be like, yeah, he's actually a frog. And I'm like, come on, man. No way they're doing a comic book where Thor runs around and he's a frog. And then you go pick up the comic, and it's like, I'll be damned. Thor is a frog.
Yep. I remember
for like issues.
Yeah.
Like for issues, not like for 5 seconds. Not like for 3 panels. It's like there's a run.
There's a run.
Thor as a frog there, folks.
As a frog. Yep.
Steve wants you to not tell him that there is a Thor Lego copter.
Or Thanoscopter.
I'm sorry, Thanos. Too many characters with TH.
Oh, he's already sent me a text message saying there's even an RC one.
He's already bought all of them.
So guess which one that he's going to get. Guess which one he's going to get.
Good. Look, Steve, if you actually buy an RC controlled Thanoscopter, you must do some footage of that.
Yeah, I was going to say,
send it to us, and we will.
Steve,
we will immortalize that, please.
Call me, and we'll get together and we'll work out footage.
Yeah, Gary, you're absolutely right. Thor issue 365 is going to go through the roof, just like every other dumb thing.
Yeah.
That exists out there. Pretty funny, folks. All right. So in this one, we also have Roxy Wine, which I guess is we keep getting elements of Roxxon or Roxmart. Yeah.
The Roxxon Corporation.
Right.
Please notice the small selection of swords next to the wine.
Yeah, what is that?
For your olive spearing pleasure. If you actually look at it, it actually looks like a miniature fireplace set with a couple of swords tossed in there.
That's funny.
Or, Steve will appreciate this, it's a bunch of swords collected by Highlanders.
Hey.
Well, let's see.
That collection.
That could be a dragon head sword there. That's definitely
that's typical
what are they called? Kind of a cutlass, right? So,
there's a bunch of shout outs to some things that aren't Marvel related.
There can be only one.
Yeah. There can be only one.
The other thing that I'm catching from the whole Roxxon mentions throughout this is that the Roxxon Corporation in the comics was the setup for a lot of different things. So we might get a new a better Cloak and Dagger series.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I would. Yeah, I'd like that. Although I watched an episode or two. I really liked the build up. I never.
Oh, I did too. I did,
but I really liked the build up on it. I watched the first episode of that, and I liked the characters a lot. And they were obviously taking it seriously. The
first season for me was really good. The second season was kind of the other one. What was the other one that they had? That was the other kids, the Runaways. Runaways was a better show.
Yeah,
but
Runaways.
But
I
there was
watched
also
a little bit of that, but I didn't watch all of it.
there was also
There's
connection.
too much stuff to watch.
Yeah, way too much.
There's as you're in the opening sequence of this episode, as you're going through after you get past the temple, there's a building off to the left. Again, wish I had slow tracking, but I think it actually says Roxxon on the side of it.
It does.
Does okay? I'm not crazy then. Okay. Okay.
Certainly not. Hey, Ryan has chimed in.
Hey, what's up, Ryan?
It's great to see you, Ryan. I hope that your film production is going well. We haven't heard about that. We'd kind of like to come up there and wear a robe or something if you're filming.
Hey,
get our IMDb profile going.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'll let you know. Like right now, all I'm doing is job hunting right now. So.
Right. Ryan says that Roxxon was a major Spider-Man villain contributor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Here's an update. We start production the first week of August.
Dun, dun,
Hello.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hello. Ryan, if you ever seriously need any like promotional help, or you need to get a message out, or you just want to come on the show again, get in touch with us. We want you on there, man.
Anytime.
Seriously. And good luck on your filming. I'm fast. Look, my major in college was media arts as filmmaking, and film studies as a minor, which is film studies is like a producer style thing. Anyways, I'm interested in film.
I took a cinema course as well as half of a Hitchcock course. That was fun.
That's cool.
Yeah, for my bachelor's degree.
One of my professors was the producer on the Godfather films.
Oh, sweet.
That guy had stories.
Oh, I bet
that guy had such stories.
Imagine the stories he had.
Yeah, it was pretty. And besides that, it was just amazing to go through the filmmaking process and to have all of these professors go to a class and for the entire for 2 or 3 weeks you pick apart a Quentin Tarantino film, scene by scene. Mm-hmm. You talk about the theme and how to construct it, and it's just incredible.
That's what we did.
It's like I can't believe I'm in class.
Right.
I'm taking a class and talking about this stuff. I mean, it's the same thing we're doing right now. It's just I'm not getting.
We're not
I'm not getting credits. I'm not getting college credits for doing it, but it's the exact same thing that we're doing right now, which is just picking stuff apart and really enjoying the hell of it. Ryan says that we're filming the entire third week of August. If you want to show up, hello. I will.
Walt, road trip.
I will talk to the gang.
Road trip.
Don't tease me unless you're serious.
Road trip.
August.
I got vacation time.
That's about a month and a half away. That's doable. Steve says he looks pretty good in a robe. He looked like a gigantic Jedi.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'm 6'1" and Steve is taller than me. So.
I've heard that Steve is kind of a tall drink of water. All right, so let's talk about.
Moving on.
Let's talk about boastful Loki.
You know what? I want to see.
Who had a lot of tall tales, man. Speaking of tall, he had a lot of tall tales, and he was great when they let him go. It's like, wouldn't you just like to listen to him talk about his tales?
He's the Luther Vandross of Loki's.
Yes, he is.
You know what makes me wonder is I really want to see his universe, because I got a feeling all the Asgardians are black in his world.
That would be cool.
Nothing wrong with that.
And
that would be cool.
And and
Heimdall is white.
Yes. Like they're all switched around, and I want to see that so bad.
I love you for that, Walt. I love you for that.
I want to see that so bad.
I'm going to say that's probably not Mjolnir, even their universe's version. It looks like kind of a catalog knockoff.
In the comic books, supposedly,
because he certainly as hell doesn't throw it at anyone. I mean, if you have Mjolnir and you're in a throwdown, you're going to use it.
Supposedly, boastful Loki builds that.
Okay.
He builds his own hammer.
It looks like, kind of like, what's his name? Or U.S. agent built his own.
Yeah, we'll just say
shield.
It's not the Mjolnir that we know.
Right.
Yeah.
Certainly not. Certainly not. But anyway, that guy was awesome.
He was awesome.
Yeah,
That guy was
he was
awesome.
good.
And in him lying to all the Lokis, and their reaction was even better.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's still lying, but he's to the worst audience ever to lie to.
You know,
I
They
love
all
how
know
our-
that he's full of caca.
I
Yeah.
love how our Loki's just standing there looking at him like, "Are you serious?"
Like, come on, man.
right.
Come
Like,
on, man.
really?
He's like, I tell lies, but at least mine are believable.
Right, right. Come on, you had all the Infinity Stones and all this sort of stuff.
Six
Anyway.
Right,
Infinity
right,
Stones, and really?
He defeated. Who did he say he defeated?
He
Captain
defeated
America.
Iron Man
and
and Captain
Captain
America.
America.
And Captain America.
Right.
And Captain America.
Yeah, and Loki was like. So here is a few things. Number one, we get many different versions of the Loki. In the last episode, I said that it was probably like, the Duke of New York, like maybe
Yeah.
one Loki was in charge of all the other of like all the other people that are in the void. As it turns out, these are actually all Lokis.
I like the one with the bicycle.
The handlebars.
The
Yeah, yeah.
handlebars for his helmet. I mean,
That's
that was,
pretty spectacular.
That one was pretty cool.
This guy here was, this is kind of a Easter egg to earlier in the series. They had a hologram version showing this dude. So he did appear earlier in the series. I don't know what's going on with this guy. This is like hold my beer Loki. Florida man Loki. Take your pick.
jailbird Loki.
Also, here is a thing called Polybius.
Polybius.
So I looked a little bit of this up and okay, well, and Steve's bringing it up too. Steve, if you know more about this, then please tell me. Basically, look, I'm writing a story right now. I'm about to write a story, which is all about kind of saying that all conspiracy theories are true.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
kind of exploring that, and also saying everything else is true, like all the myths and legends and everything that has happened, that we've heard rumors about, whatever, UFOs, fairy creatures, vampire, it's all true. So anyway, one of the things that I want to explore in this kind of universe is like crazy conspiracy theories and stuff, and that's definitely what they're doing in this series. In that vein, they have a thing called Polybius, which is supposed to be a cabinet video game system that was distributed around the world or whatever, and had like mind control properties. Some people question whether the thing existed at all.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yep.
Did this thing exist? Is this like an internet creation? Other people on the internet say that they played this thing, and like I said, that like people like Men in Black came to sequester these cabinets, So we don't know whether it's like some sort of crazy MK Ultra style conspiracy adjunct, or whether it's all just kind of something silly that the internet has created. But they're certainly playing into that, just like they did with DB Cooper and many other things that we will talk about here in a minute in this Loki episode, because they are really playing into that seriously. Steve says massive conspiracy theory. He first heard of it referenced in Ernest Cline's Armada.
Oh, nice.
Interesting. Very interesting.
There was a short film made last year too.
Well, he says that there's a Showtime documentary on it. I'm taking notes right now. Showtime
Documentary.
Polybius. All right, I'm into it. By the way, send me all your conspiracy theory stuff. I got to have it. Anything like that I can throw into this book. I tell you. And so anyway,
You should have told me about this earlier. I got a whole bunch of them for you.
dude, seriously, I mean, like, I'm going to write whole things about like I'm not going to tell you what more.
I'll just read it as I edit it for you.
Fair enough. You know what I'm going to do? I need to look. I have a certain. Oh my gosh, I'm so far off the range here, folks.
That's fine.
I have a certain name that's established in an entirely different world. Let's just say the adult world. I have a book that I've put out, and I'm working on a sequel to that book right now, which is also very much in the adult world, but it's not my name. It's a pseudonym that I'm using.
I need that pseudonym.
My name, Dirk Hooper, I'm going to be using to write other stuff, like, fiction, like science fiction and fantasy and stuff that's like outside of all genres or inside all genres, like this story that I'm talking about, which is going to have science fiction, fantasy, conspiracy theories, and everything else. In any case, I'm not known as a writer in that world, in this world that we're talking in right now. So what I'm thinking about doing is doing what who's the guy who wrote The Martian? Help me out.
Was it Heinlein? No, it wasn't Heinlein.
Something Weir.
Oh, Andy Weir. You're talking
Andy
about
Weir.
Weir.
Andy Weir. Andy Weir wrote The Martian and posted it on Reddit. I am not going to post it on Reddit, but I am thinking about posting it chapter by chapter, the rough draft of this thing, and allowing people to hopefully build a little bit of build a name for myself by sharing it for free to the entire world. And then I will take that thing and edit the hell out of it, and then publish it on Amazon and elsewhere. That's my thought. Way too much information. It's way more than you need to know.
We'll discuss it later, Dirk.
Beth, I will send you. You don't have to know my deal. I will send you the book if you want to read the book. I will just send it to you. You don't have to know the name or anything. I will just send it to you.
Yeah,
I'll give you.
It's not for young people.
I'll give you a few. I'll give you a few myths and stuff that are Oklahoma related too. So. Oh,
that's good. Actually, I picked up a thing of Native American stuff. I have another project where I need stuff like that. I need Oklahoma stuff. For a fantasy western that I'm doing, fantasy horror steampunk western that I'm doing.
I actually made a logo for this particular one years ago to put on T-shirts. I love that High C Box, by the way.
High C Box. Oh my God.
Okay, so look, here is Kid Loki, who I love Kid Loki, but holy crud, this is not just a High C Box.
It's Ghostbusters.
It's the Ghostbusters High C Box.
Yes.
How cool is that? And it's like, I can't read it here, and someone said what it is.
I can't remember what it said.
There it is. Ryan's got it. The Ecto Cooler.
That's it. The Ecto Cooler.
Let me go back to another couple of things
I was freaking out over that too, because I put that on pause. I was like, is that a Ghostbusters High C?
I did not catch that. I just saw that it was High C, and I thought it was funny that they were all drinking, mead and Roxy Wine.
Out of a boxed
wine. And he's drinking High C because he's a kid.
And out of a juice box.
Yes. How great is that? Steve says it was called, the documentary is called Polybius, the video game that doesn't exist. I gotta see that. I will pay to see that, seriously. I guess Steve is talking about me putting my book out.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
We all would read the heck out of it.
It's going to be called Agent Taurus and the Scream. Ooh. You heard it here first.
Live.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. You heard it here live.
So anyway, I thought it was pretty funny that I'm looking for where should I post that? I'm thinking about posting it on Quora, because I can put it on there. I have a writing website. I could put it on that. I could put it on Medium. I don't know. I'm taking
Medium, Focal, Right Spike.
We'll figure it out later.
I'm taking suggestions if anyone's out there.
We'll talk
on
later.
Where to post because I do want to give it away because I want people to get excited about it before it comes out. I want some review, and I want people to help me correct stuff. And Steve's going to narrate it for Audible.
That would work.
I've narrated for Audible books, by the way. Also in another light. So, classic Loki tells a tale of what he was doing And it goes back to this moment where Thanos, note the giant hand, kills Loki in Endgame. But he said that he created a version of himself that fooled Thanos. Now, this is something that has been posited by many people on the internet since Endgame that said, it wouldn't be a big deal for Loki to find out a way to escape death in this moment, despite the fact that, everyone thought that maybe he was trying to attack Thanos at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought I could do more good elsewhere.
Considering that this scene now has not happened.
Right.
By classic Loki saying, this is what I did.
Right.
We do now know, and we do now have confirmation that Loki did survive Thanos.
Well, at least in one universe.
In one universe, yeah.
Some version of Loki survived Thanos.
Because, and we'll probably get into this earlier or later when we talking about.
This is a time travel episode. We may get into it earlier. We may get back in time.
Oh yeah, this is true. But we'll talk about older Loki and some of the things that he said.
It's probably best that I don't have control of time.
It's probably
that would be a big mess.
Yeah,
believe me. Me in control of time would be bad for the universe. So can we talk a little bit about Richard Grant? I got his name.
Oh my God, he was
I destroyed his name for about 3 weeks there, but I did say that he was going to be a big deal.
Can we talk a lot about him?
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah, let's do it.
Not just a little, a lot.
Please, now's the time.
Specifically this character. I mean, despite the cheesy outfit, this is probably the most badass version of Loki.
Steve says that Beth wins the t-shirt battle today.
Thanks, Steve.
I mean, by the end of this...
Victory is mine.
That is a good t-shirt. I mean, old Loki was probably, by the end of this episode, I was like, oh, dude, I want to see more of this guy. More of all the characters.
He is the true humanization of Loki as we remember him from the comic books.
Exactly.
This is the Loki that we're used to.
Exactly.
The bad version, the guy who was always the monkey in the wrench.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the guy, and I mean he's got the look and everything. They went. Everyone who complains like it's not comic accurate.
Yeah. There you go.
It's enough as you're going to get to comic accurate with this guy.
That is. Exactly. Ryan says 616 Loki.
This is 616 Loki.
Yep.
The Loki that we showed at the the comic book version that we showed at the beginning of this slideshow.
OG.
Yeah, OG.
Absolutely.
Right down to the powers, because we see what he can actually do. I mean, even right down to OG Asgard.
Yeah. And then this
very
is
powerful.
And this is one of the conversations that they had. The Lokis are together, and they talk about daggers, and he mentions how, but we're so much better than using daggers. He goes,
we're more powerful when we use our enchantments.
Exactly, and so basically he tells all the other Lokis, you guys using physical weapons has been holding you guys back.
Very important, and also very much sets up our Loki's, his turn at the end of this episode.
And his comment to Sylvie, we are much more I believe we are much more powerful than we know.
Right.
Another thing that they mentioned, which goes right along with what you guys are saying, is how earlier in the episode when they're all talking, it's about how they're outcasts and they are also designed specifically for the purposes of improving other people. And in this case, it's like, what do they say? Iron sharpens iron. In this case, these Lokis are actually doing that for each other. They're not just helping Thor and Captain America and everyone else realize their potential. They're helping each other, ironically, reach their potential as well, which is a very interesting take on that character.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a villain, but maybe an antagonist to sharpen, to make other people better. Very, very interesting take on this. And
I kind of like the term anti-hero.
Yeah, I mean, he's the antiest of anti-hero.
Yeah.
I mean, but the perfect example of the anti-hero.
Yeah.
Unpredictable, but also complex. Very complex. Can we talk about how good Richard Grant was in this role? I mean, someone who's been around, someone who has been around, kitty cat sighting, someone who's been around for a long time. They pluck this guy out, and much like I can't remember her name, Elaine from Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
Was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. When you bring someone in, someone who's been around for a while, they bring, a lot of gravitas to a role, and we get this character for one episode and only for pieces of this episode, and yet he needs no introduction, he needs no backstory. I mean, we get it, we get some backstory, but the character arc is fully realized from the beginning of this thing to the end of this episode. And we are he totally sells the whole thing, where a lesser actor, someone that they, someone who doesn't have the chops, would not have been able to make this character live so well. One thing I really want, also something that I just want to touch on for a minute, whoever it is who's writing this damn thing and who is directing this, I think it's the same people throughout this entire deal. Someone please look this up. Who is the director is a woman who's been doing this, and
Karen something. I remember looking at the name.
I mean, just really
Karen Loft.
I mean, let's give them credit, please, because the writers and the director, because it's been the same director, has really knocked this out of the park. This is so good. It's so good. Steve says, I love that he was brought down
by not being able
to enchant. He said, I don't know how.
Kate Herron. What? See, I got the Kate part right.
Steve is on that as well. Kate Herron is the director and has directed every episode. Some of these other things, like The Mandalorian or whatever, they have a bunch of guest directors. It's very unusual for these to all be directed by the same person. Mm-hmm. And boy, is she really does. The only knock that I can have, and I have it against, this is going to sound misogynistic. she's not great at action scenes, like punching action scene, not things are exploding or things that are happening. Because she did great on that, like excitement action scenes, CGI heavy action scenes, great. Punching scenes, not so great.
But is it her directing? Is it her directing of the punching scenes, or is it more? This is what our Loki is like. Our Loki tries to stay out of the middle of the fight, so he sucks at fighting. In the last episode, Sylvie and Loki were fighting those guards, and it was a little perfunctory. Let's say that's the only knock that I have against this director. As far as being, as far as actor directing, as far as suspense, as far as weirdness, these are all very big things. This director is excellent. Yeah. Excellent.
It's kind of the same thing.
Give Kate Herron a movie immediately.
What you're talking about is a thing that troubled Iron Fist.
But have a stunt coordinator in there to help her with her action scenes.
Yeah, that's I had the same thing with Iron Fist.
But not as bad.
Iron Fist action scenes were terrible too.
But not as bad.
How did they do that? How did you screw up action scenes in Iron Fist?
Not as bad as the Elektra movie.
We don't talk about that movie.
If it looks too much like a dance, it's wrong.
Yeah.
You should when someone gets punched, you should feel it. Go watch Endgame or Infinity War or
Daredevil
or Captain America the Winter Soldier or the Daredevil series,
the Punisher,
Punisher series. Yeah, the Punisher's good God. that episode where they're in the prison where he's fighting to those guys.
That's Daredevil season 2.
Okay, that is visceral to the extreme. I mean, that is more visceral than most movies.
Yeah.
Okay, so look, it's a Bryan Singer couldn't. By the way, I'm not picking on women. Bryan Singer couldn't direct an action scene. If people were running away from things or things were exploding, Bryan Singer was fine. If it was like an Indiana Jones scene where there's explosions and there's CGI, and Bryan Singer was fine. If it was a scene where the people were punching other people, he was terrible. Terrible.
That has to do with camera placement as well. So
you have to understand what it takes to do a good action scene. It's not for beginners.
Yeah.
Gary says, I agree, Dirk. That fight looks more like a choreographed dance. Yeah. Not so great. And by the way, the fight scene that was in The Last Jedi by a guy who I really like, a director that I really like, also looked like a dance scene. It looked like a little disco dance scene in in Star Wars.
Oh, don't get me started on the one from.
Looks a little like Disco Duck. No offense.
Episode 8. Episode 8 was.
Action scenes are not easy, folks. Action
horrible.
scenes are not easy. I'm not picking on women necessarily. Although Patty Jenkins can't direct a fight scene either.
No, but at least Gal Gadot makes it look good. At least she tries to make it look good. Okay.
And again, Patty Jenkins does great with CGI and running and fight, all that sort of stuff. But once you get to fighting, not so great. But look, everyone can't be John Woo. Okay.
Why not? Sorry, just saying.
No,
not everyone can be John Woo. I'm just saying.
I mean.
Steve says, "OMG, Elektra, way underdone."
Oh, the camera work was horrible in the fight scene.
The movie was horrible.
Oh my god! I mean, at least they could have had good fight scenes, and there were no good fight scenes in that movie. No.
The only thing that was good about that movie was her costume. That was
hire someone like Chad Stahelski, the guy who did John Wick. That guy knows how to direct action. When people get shot, when people get punched, you go, ooh.
Yeah.
That must have hurt. You can feel it in your bones.
Yeah.
If you don't feel it in your bones, it's not a good action scene, folks. And it doesn't have to be bloody to be good action. Because I mentioned the brothers who did Endgame. Like the Russos. When Captain America kicks that truck to get it to punch it into a guy, you could feel that.
Oh,
you could feel that moment. You could be like, "Holy crap! Captain America is an ass whooper."
In the Winter Soldier, when Bucky gets activated, and they're all trying to capture him when he escapes.
Oh, that's good stuff, man.
You feel Tony Stark. When his arm gets hurt, you feel that.
Yeah. When they jump from one building to another building, it looks like it.
Oh, you mean Civil
hurts.
War? You mean Civil War? Yes.
Yeah.
It looks like.
Yeah. That's right. Civil War.
I mean, even
Excuse me.
But the fight scenes in Winter Soldier, when you first see Cap and Bucky going after, when you hear the famous line, "Who the hell is Bucky?" That is one of the best fight sequences I've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Ryan says nobody had great fight scenes. Who directed that, Ryan? I suspect it looks like a John Wick production to me. I wouldn't be surprised if someone from John Wick wasn't involved.
And isn't that movie getting a sequel now?
I have not.
I hope so.
Oh, good. I have not seen Nobody. I would really like to see it. I'll see it soon. Gary says, I would have loved it when Sylvie threw the sword up in the air to Loki. If a guard had got it, that's what James Gunn would have done. Yeah. I mean, look, go get some. If you're not really comfortable with fight scenes, go hire like one of these, or a troupe of stunt performers, and have them coordinate the fight scene for you, and help you direct it because they understand it. They understand the visceral nature of fight scenes.
The scenes. Yeah.
Not only that, get somebody who you can trust to film it. director of photography for that.
Get the guy. Go hire the guy who did the raid.
Shoot. Hey,
Oh, it was the guy who directed Hardcore Henry. That's interesting.
I mean, this is the same thing that, like a lot of, if you want to see some really, and this is going to off the cuff, if you want to see some really good coordinated fight scenes, any of
Steve
those.
says they're already filming Nobody.
That's what I heard.
Insane.
That's what I heard. Any of those DC animated movies, the fight scenes, the coordination of those fight scenes, and it's phenomenal. And this is animated,
right? So, it's even harder to pull that off in animation.
It's even harder
because it's difficult to just make people look like they're grounded and they're walking, on concrete instead of air.
Oh yeah.
So if you can pull that off, the phrase that they used, God of Outcasts.
God of Outcasts, yep.
Also from the comics, folks. These people have done their research. There it is in the comics.
They did their homework. Yep.
They did some research, some big time research.
There's the Rogues Gallery.
I love that shot.
Yeah, that is a great shot.
It is a callback to the Avengers, the first Avengers film, where Loki woke up and all of the Avengers are standing over him. It's a complete callback to that moment.
Right,
also.
right after.
So
right
that's
after
a bit of a Easter egg as well.
Puny God.
Yes.
Keep going.
This is a Pizza Planet car, which has appeared in many Pixar movies, as well as some other, like everyone's picking it up now. It was an inside joke at Pixar, and now other people who love Pixar movies are now doing this. Obviously, they don't have to worry about all of that because it's all both are Disney productions. So,
did you catch the Easter egg with the license plate on that car?
Yes, that's coming.
Okay.
Give him a minute.
Politician Loki, which that is an entire. I guess that was a series.
That's a
also
throwback to
Marvel,
the comics as well.
Yeah. And apparently, kind of based on the 2016 campaign, where Loki is inserted into it, and apparently, his campaign is that he lies to everyone. Like he's telling everyone, "I'm lying to you."
Yeah, yeah.
Which is an interesting. Is it a lie if he's telling you it's a lie? I don't know. And the point is that the other two were lying. They just weren't fessing up to it.
Right.
Pretty clever, actually. Pretty clever. I feel like maybe this is something. What does it say? Wednesday E days? I don't know. Something Martian of the Martian?
The Wrightville something theater.
Does that say Hydra?
It does say Hydra.
Wait a minute. Breaking news. We've picked something else out here.
Pull that up bigger, Dirk, because I can...
I'm on it as much as I can.
Yeah.
Wrightville Hydra Theater. And it says something Wednesday days. I can't read that. And something World of the Martian. Does anyone want to do some research on that and say, tell us if that means anything? Help us out. Here comes someone else. Let's see if I can get my cursor over here. Bobby, welcome. He says, hey, what's up? He's coming to us from YouTube. Thank you. Thank you for visiting us. Tell us what you think about the episode. We're going to be spoiling stuff, just so you know. This is the Eldridge. The Eldridge was involved in the Philadelphia experiment, which they did a very famous movie about many years ago.
Actually, you should say the conspiracy theory of Philadelphia.
Right. Supposedly, the Philadelphia experiment was something that actually happened where either the Eldridge was made invisible, or it traveled through time, or it was transported to New York. Something happened with the Eldridge, and they are definitely saying that it was instead was transformed into the void here.
It was that somebody had invented an actual cloaking device that would cloak the ship.
Right.
But actually, I forgot what country the ship ended up being sold to and renamed. Eventually, and
in reality,
and it was decommissioned. I want to say in the mid '90s.
Bobby said
1999. It was sold as scrap.
Loved this episode 5.
This episode was great.
So did I. It was awesome.
I got the movie theater one too. When you're ready,
it's awesome. The movie theater. Oh, you go ahead.
It's so it's Oswald and the Martians, which is a reference to the 1930 animated short Mars, which starred Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, who was the character that Walt Disney created prior to Mickey Mouse.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
when he worked with Universal.
Wow, that is a deep cut.
That's a little deep, a deep Disney cut.
Hey, this is the first I've heard of this one.
It's a deep Disney dig.
All this other stuff. Look, the Thanoscopter's all over the internet. This is the first I've heard of this. And we just picked that apart right there.
We just broke it live.
We broke it live, folks.
Yep.
On Taskforce Geek.
We'll do it live.
Alert.
How about that? Very cool. Very cool. I hope that people catch that. I hope people stuck around long enough to hear our breaking news. They should have had the plane from Millennium. That would have been perfect.
That would have been
great.
For sure.
Hey, you never know. It might be in there.
Yeah, it's not.
We're not. There's just so much in this.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if the plane from Lost was in there somewhere.
Right, or that.
I mean, that is
a very distinct, and that's an ABC production.
Exactly.
Here is the back of the Pizza Planet car, and it's GRNWID, probably mentioning Mark Grunwald.
It is mentioning.
Is he an artist or writer for Marvel?
I want to say writer.
He's a writer who has created a bunch of characters that are currently on Disney Plus. He's the one who created Alioth.
Ah, that's a suitable nod there.
Yeah, I mean, his comic credits are vast. I can't even begin. I've read so many that were done by him.
Bobby says, "Awesome Disney dig." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the first I heard of that.
Oh,
and we put that here. We put that together.
Bobby, are you new to the show? We just let us know, because
I've never seen Bobby. We sure appreciate you tuning in.
If you are, welcome to the show.
Yeah, and we appreciate you chiming in too. So this is just the moment here where everyone gets together. They're overlooking, and what do we have here in the background?
That is the Aster. That is Ronan's Kree ship.
It certainly is. If you'll notice, there's the bridge, and then the crazy
crazy design of the
crazy
ship.
Design where it kind of, I mean, that's the front of it, but there it is. There on the landscape, and then there's Alioth in the background.
Your spaceship does not need to be aerodynamic for space. So
it does not.
Heck no!
It does not. It's going to be perfectly fine, just like that.
I actually loved that ship. I loved the shape of the Kree ships and everything. I thought they were really unique in the sci-fi world.
Okay. Does anyone know what this is? Is? I'll let you guys take it if you want to.
It's the what is it? The tribunal character.
The Living Tribunal.
The living tribunal.
He is in charge. The Living Tribunal is in charge of protecting the multiverse, and.
But is that a statue of the Living Tribunal, or
is that the actual Living Tribunal?
Right. I think it's a statue.
It might be a statue, but if it is the actual Living Tribunal, who's large, it suggests that he's no longer protecting the multiverse, which is going to be setting up what's happening. But in either case, kind of an interesting nod to a weird character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that is, Ryan. Yes, it is.
Yep, I'm coming to it. I just gotta. Living Tribunal. There it is. Ryan knew it. Ryan knew it without the research. Pretty cool. Bobby says, he's new. He joined from SRG, little ways
Cool.
back. Very
Cool.
cool.
Glad to have you, man.
Yeah, thank you. All right, on to the next whatever. I don't know what's next. Oh, there's the thing that seems to appear in every multiverse, which is a helicarrier.
Did you notice the design on the deck?
It's an old one. if I
This
can
one here?
tell.
Oh, this.
Yes.
No, what is it?
That's the Hydra symbol.
What is it?
That is a Hydra
It's
symbol.
a bunch of heads. I can't even really tell.
Yeah, it's a Hydra symbol on the deck. And the only thing I can think about is that this is a call to the Captain America comic series where Captain America was Hydra.
Oh,
Secret Empire.
Secret Empire, exactly.
Ryan is explaining why he knew that. He says he reads too damn many comics. as do we all. So say we all.
Walt and I have had very long conversations about Captain America's Secret Empire.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he says he was a Hydra agent or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would actually like to read those. I think that's probably pretty interesting.
The Red Skull uses the cosmic cube to change his history.
It's actually a really good series.
It's a really good read.
So
really
Loki gets this golden sword from Kid Loki, and it is, I'm going to butcher this name. It's called Levatine. It's actually an allusion to a golden sword, which is in Norse mythology.
Yep.
And he uses it. We haven't done the plot. I mean, gosh, are we going to have enough time to actually go through the plot of this thing? I have an interview to do here in about 3 hours, and I have not done my research for it. Yeah, Bobby says, "Hail Hydra, Secret Empire."
Hail Hydra.
Oh, he said that the Living Tribunal was also mentioned in Doctor Strange.
Uh-oh.
In
Guess
the
what?
movie or in the comics? Yeah, I don't know that.
I'm going to have to go back and watch.
That's
Yeah,
news.
same here.
That's news. He says the Loki sword is from Link and Zelda. It did look like that sword.
It did.
I know,
look like
it did.
It did.
One of the things that's interesting about this moment is that after being completely self-absorbed for every incarnation and every movie and every whatever that we've seen Loki, he actually sacrifices himself for the greater good here.
Yeah.
We are starting to see a change in Loki through this.
He runs out and puts himself in harm's way, not to even take the glory of saving the day. Like,
No,
ostensibly, he should have been destroyed here.
He
Right.
does it to help someone.
He does it to help someone else.
Which is very. That's why I prefer to say he's more of an anti-hero.
Super
than
great
a
character
villain.
moment here, folks.
Yeah.
And by the way, how can you not love a flaming sword?
Well, yeah, that's true.
Flaming swords are pretty cool. Classic Loki creates
Classic Asgard. OG
creates
Asgard.
classic Asgard, like the whole damn thing.
An illusion. A huge
A
illusion.
huge, accurate, super cool illusion. They didn't spare any money on the CGI on this
And-
episode. If people were complaining about not enough, whatever effect shots early on this thing, they blew it on this episode.
This is the scene that made me say we need more of this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, who
after
knows?
seeing this.
Who knows what happened to him? But I mean,
Yeah.
how awesome is this? Bobby says that the Doctor Strange mention of Living Tribunal was in the movie by Mordo during Stranger's training. Interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I
You
missed
need to
that.
rewatch that. Yeah. You need to
Good
rewatch it.
catch. Good catch, Bobby. Very good.
Okay.
Steve says LT was killed twice. Could that be some iteration or reference to that?
Well, we are seeing two of the what? Didn't Living Tribunal have 3 faces?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're seeing 2 faces. You might be onto something there.
Some of it might be, hidden by that rock. Like
Could be.
it's kind of in the rock there. Like, you see what I'm saying? It could kind of be buried.
Yeah, that's
There's a lot of different speculation.
Have you heard
on
of
that one.
two-faced? This fella's three-faced.
Tri-face.
Can you trust a guy with three faces? I don't know. Let's see.
Aw.
Bobby says Hugh Jackman Prestige. Eat your heart out.
Nice.
Seriously.
Nice.
Seriously, yeah.
And obviously, yeah, old Loki is the master of illusion.
the
Boy,
master of illusion.
he brought it. You
He
can, if
did.
you can recreate an entire city, color me impressed.
You know what else? That scene, even though it's the classic cheesy Loki outfit, that scene, actually looks cool in that scene.
Oh yeah.
It actually looked like, you know what? I was sitting there looking at it
This would
going,
not have been as awesome if, again, Richard Grant really brought this thing and owned it. You know, like he
Yeah.
didn't play it cheesy. He
No,
played
he
it
did.
straight as hell.
Yeah.
And him, you know, doing this thing was just awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, these two are, you know, showing a lot of affection for each other, folks. I mean, we've been told that they are not hooking up by the showrunner, but
This makes my happy little.
I mean,
makes my happy
you know,
little sugar heart.
I love you folks, but I'm not holding your hand. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I just don't hold everyone's hand. Okay,
Not unless you need me to pull you up from the edge of a cliff.
right.
Or
that is-
so
that
I can
is
help
a-
you channel some stuff.
That is an
Yeah.
appropriate moment to hold hands.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Redefine
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bobby says my mouth was open the whole time.
Oh,
yeah, this
yeah.
was another one that it's like right around the end. It's like holy cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely redefining self-love.
self-love.
Who else besides Loki could fall in love with himself?
Exactly.
For sure. Anyway,
Talk about narcissism.
super. Yeah, man. The hours of therapy that are required here.
But you know what? But you know what? In all honesty, who do we get along with best?
Ourselves.
So
And we are usually our own worst critics. So yeah,
I mean,
you were great.
I mean, if my female version looked like that, I would, you know, maybe be
Oh, honey, if my
interested.
male version looks
Hey,
like that,
See
Hey.
how that works?
hey, there's
Yeah, right.
there's a Snapchat filter for that.
no, my Snapchat filter when
I
do
can't
that, I
imagine
look like
removing
my
all of
brother.
this and giving me hair is going to help at all.
I look like
My
brother
female version
Peter.
would be truly terrible.
Oh, there's my version on Instagram. Be sure to look.
You
it
have? Oh my lord!
Oh God!
I can't imagine that there's any amount of CGI that could fix this. I don't know where this is, but that looks like kind of an old German, you know, whatever you call it,
I find
abode.
the background behind the castle very reminiscent of the Rainbow Bridge in Asgard.
Like
Yeah.
this right here.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know, I actually looked up this one, and there
You
was
did?
a reference. There was a reference, and now I can't remember what it was a reference to. I even had the name and everything, and I just brain farted.
I think that someone mentioned when I was looking this stuff up that there was a specific German building that I can't say the name.
This one was-
The bad guys in World War II
This
used to
so
hang out at.
What I learned was that
Oh, I know what castle you're talking about.
this is an actual realm.
Yes.
Oh, it's a
Beyond.
realm.
It's a realm where our actual villain resides.
Well, it clearly this, and we can talk about this here in just a second. Sacrifice you for the Soul Stone. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Hmm.
Ryan says it's the Professor X mansion mixed with Castle Grayskull.
I'm liking
Maybe.
this. I'm liking this description. At
How about Wolfenstein? Wolfenstein might be right on
Wolfenstein.
target, actually.
Wolfenstein.
Colditz? Colditz? Is that the
Let's
name of
see.
the realm?
I had it.
Since we're here, who's behind the curtain, folks? I mean, might as well go ahead and cover that now. Where are they headed, and who is running this show?
Wherever they are headed.
Um,
I got the name of where the place is called again. And it's questioned. They questioned, is this Chronopolis?
Oh, is Chronopolis the place they said was in the Ant-Man movie, the last Ant-Man movie, in the quantum realm? Because there was a I just destroyed the world here. There was a city that was in the quantum realm that made an appearance for just a brief moment.
It says that Chronopolis is the domain where Kang is from.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in the Easter egg, that I looked up to like get the name and everything, because I knew that this place was something. Whatever this place is an Easter egg of some sort.
Right.
And Chronopolis came up with a question mark. They were like, is this Chronopolis? Is this the domain where Kang the Conqueror resides? We don't know.
It would make sense if
right.
that's what they're alluding to.
Yep.
One thing I found interesting was a little further into this scene, off to the right, past the clouds, you see what looks like a hover car or some sort of hover shuttle. So it is definitely some sort of realm that is more evolved technologically.
Okay. That's interesting. Ryan says Kang. We've been saying Kang this entire time.
There's got to be Kang at this point.
There's also another one, like, I want to call him the one above all, although I don't think that's the correct name. Who created, in the comics, he created the TVA, so it might be him. Although Kang they have alluded to Kang from the first episode of this thing. He may not appear in this thing, but they have alluded to him from the beginning.
Knowing that
all of the statues look like the actor who is going to play Kang.
Yeah.
They've mentioned Renslayer is a girlfriend of Kang.
Yeah.
Everything has pointed to Kang, but they keep telling us we're not going to see Kang. So take that for what it is.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Chronopolis is in the quantum realm.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get swerved. I mean, I'm not holding my breath, but
he says maybe
Marvel's done it to us before.
Immortus or another version of Kang. Immortus, I haven't heard. That's an interesting deal.
Marvel has swerved us before in the movies, and
because there are multiple versions of Kang.
Yeah,
there's a little bit better deal of the
frog.
The frog, which is pretty good. You can see the funny little ears. That's the end of my slideshow, folks.
Oh, pretty impressive slideshow, Dirk.
Hey, I brought it today, folks.
You did.
I brought it today. I mean, this was definitely, but I actually have some more notes and Easter eggs that I didn't even cover in that. Do we want to go through it, or?
Let's move on.
Yeah, I think we covered about all the Easter eggs we could possibly.
There is one. There is one I gotta mention at the beginning of the thing on the TVA deal. It says Oak Island, Nova Scotia.
I saw that.
Yes, I saw that too.
I saw that too.
For those of you who are out there and who are Oak Island fans, it's pretty funny that another place full of conspiracy theories and so on. I thought that was pretty funny.
I saw that too.
Bobby says, "Thanks, guys. Thank you, Bobby. We appreciate you. We'll be back next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you for chiming in. All right." Let's go to if you guys are calling it, we're going to go to our next thing and wrap this up. The plot, we kind of went through that.
Thickens.
From the beginning to the end. I think Renslayer is evil, but I also think she really does want to know what's going on.
Me too.
So if they can use that to their advantage, in the last thing, she may actually end up kind of being helpful in some ways. She did request all of the files from the TVA, so she's going to, and she's apparently the only person with access for whatever reason. So maybe she will be helpful in some ways. We do know that Mobius is going back to the TVA to burn it down, he says.
I don't think this. I don't
Which
think Renslayer. I think we're going to see her after this. I don't think this is the only time we're going to see Renslayer.
I don't think so either.
I
But
agree
you
with
know, Mobius saying "burn it down" is a callback to what Loki said when they first met.
Yes. Good point. We also saw a moment where Loki and Mobius see each other again and are about to, part ways once again. And Loki calls him friend.
Yep.
And instead of shaking each other's hands, they hug each other. Oh, it is a testament to the director that I was talking about, that she has gotten me so wrapped up in these characters that, it makes me a little misty when these characters show affection for each other.
It's a big step for Loki too.
And it's huge.
Yeah.
It's so huge for both of them, for both of those characters. And he says, "You're my favorite." Interestingly enough, he whispers into Loki's ear, "You're my favorite."
You're my favorite.
But he's looking
At Sylvie.
at Sylvie when he says it. Clever boy.
Yeah. And
Very
the
clever boy.
And the look on her face, when he says it, and actually just the look on her face when the whole moment, during the whole moment.
Yeah.
For sure. Really good stuff. Really good stuff.
Because remember, she made the comment to him, Mobius really cares about you.
Yes.
So, there's a conversation there that we were not privy to between Mobius and Sylvie.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
Stop and think about it. There's a conversation
point.
we were not privy to.
Very interesting point.
Yeah.
And a good way of summarizing that without actually seeing the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
Good catch there. We also see another moment where Loki conjures a blanket and goes, "I could give you a blanket too if you want one."
Right.
And eventually, instead of just giving her own blanket, they snuggle together, right?
He shares his blanket.
He shares his blanket.
Hey, the cute awkwardness just did my heart good. Okay, I'm a romance writer. I mean, come on, guys. The cute awkwardness was just awesome.
I have a theory. I'm holding on to it here for a moment.
I'm holding on to it too.
Yep, same here. I think we all are.
What are the chances that Mobius is a Loki? How interesting.
Oh.
Personally, I don't think the army of Lokis, I don't think they were all Lokis.
They may not have been.
Because there was a female in there, and nobody had ever seen a female Loki. So.
What?
Bobby says, "I think it's funny that Miss Minutes was hesitant to fulfill the order to retrieve all the files."
Yeah.
I think that was a setup for
She was stalling.
Yeah,
No
I think
question.
she was stalling.
She was stalling.
Not denying, but
Because when Renslayer was
being
asking
bureaucratic.
when Renslayer was asking how much longer, any second now.
Steve seconds that notion.
Well, he seconds, I think, Ryan's notion there.
Oh, the Mobius. Let's see.
Mobius
The
may be a
Mobius
Loki.
deal? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Possible. That's interesting thought, because he did say, both of them said that they respected each other
Right.
because of their lies. Both of them are liars.
Right.
And very clever. And like I said, both of them said that they respected each other. So I don't, maybe. That's an interesting.
Oh, okay.
I never considered that.
Here's something.
For the request in the hallway after.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was dragging. Miss Minutes was dragging her feet on
Definitely
both
there.
of those scenes. Yeah.
Definitely there.
So let's stop and think about this whole thing about what are the chances that Mobius is a Loki. Other than the sailors on the USS Eldridge that dropped in and immediately got eaten, we have not seen anyone else in the void except for Loki's army.
Get away.
Probably Loki's in the void. If the void is nothing but Loki's, which would include Sylvie, then it would make sense that Mobius is there if he's a Loki.
They're dumping Lokis in the void?
They're dumping Lokis
and
in
only
the void.
Lokis?
Well, only Lokis are surviving.
Only Lokis are surviving in the void.
Only Lokis are surviving in the void because that's what Lokis do, is survive.
It's survive. They're like cockroaches. Or so we hear.
There's a very good...
You know what? That's a good point because, when the lights come on, they scurry, and when Alioth came around, they scurried. So.
They scurried. And Brian just brought up a really good point, too.
Let me get through these here. Bobby's saying when she says that's a tall order. Miss Manners. Miss Minutes. Not Miss Manners. Yeah. Okay, so Ryan says all the TVA workers have no memories.
And we know he's a variant.
I think his past is intentionally hidden.
If his past isn't intentionally hidden, he could very well be
you
a
are
Loki.
Right. He has not. He's one of the few people who hasn't been actuated.
Yeah.
Where he remembers his past life.
Yes.
Bobby says in the comic, Mobius is a variant clone of himself.
Yeah. So.
They also said, by the way, Mark Grunwald was the way that Mobius looks in the comic is Mark Grunwald.
Huh.
I meant to mention that. He's the model for that character in the comics.
That's funny.
Yeah. There's another Easter egg for you. One last thing that we saw Loki enchant Alioth with the help of Sylvie, and Sylvie says, "You're a Loki, you can do this." And so both of them proved both that they were more powerful than they thought, and our version of Loki has discovered that he can enchant these things just as much as. And again, it's iron sharpens iron. Once again, these Lokis are helping each other become better.
And he does have that. If I'm not mistaken, he does have that ability in the comics anyway.
Yeah,
he does. He does.
So,
yeah. We're getting a lot of extra Loki, including telekinesis and all kinds of...
We haven't seen him do the enchanting yet in any of the movies, but it was always there in the comics. The one thing we have seen Loki do in the movies is we have seen him do the illusions, just not on the same scale as classic Loki.
Oh, yeah. Classic Loki was
and he's tough.
Classic Loki.
Yeah,
we know that Loki's tough because he took a pounding from the Hulk. And he's still there. He took,
Yeah.
he got his ass whooped, but he's still standing.
Yeah.
He got his ass whooped by Thanos. And
if Hulk did that to me, I wouldn't be around any longer.
No. That first blow, bye.
He went toe to toe with Thanos, and if he didn't have a surefire way of getting out of that, Loki would not have done that.
Yeah, for sure. Predictions. Where are we going? What's the end game here, folks? We got one episode. I mean, they have crammed a lot into the last two episodes. Everyone complained about the build-up on this, which always infuriates me because I want the damn.
I want the build-up.
I want the build-up. I want them to, because the payoff when Mobius and Loki, call each other friend and hug each other there's no payoff if this is the second episode.
Right.
There's no payoff there. There's no, we don't have any. We're not invested in those characters. But if this is the fifth episode and we are very invested in these characters, it's a wonderful moment. So thank you.
I can't even start to come up with a prediction at this point because they have just thrown so much at us, especially in the last two episodes,
that Hulk deal
it's
was
just,
Yeah.
Bobby says, love the build-up.
If it's all up front,
exactly, Steve.
Exactly.
Don't go to the last page and read the last panel.
Don't read the last page of the
novel.
Read the damn comic. How it ends.
Right.
Read the damn comic and relax. We're getting a 6-hour movie.
Exactly.
Would you please just enjoy the ride, man? Enjoy the ride.
I read an interview with Tom Hiddleston. Somebody asked him, you've been playing Loki for 10 years from you started at age 30. You're still playing him at 40. Do you think you'll still be playing him at 50? And Hiddleston turned around and said, "Oh, I really hope so. We're not done seeing Loki.
Yeah.
No matter how this series ends, we are not done with Loki."
Now, side message to that note. Feige announced that there are no more long-term contracts for actors for Marvel.
I saw that.
Oh, they're going to do one movie at a time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and also I read that same article. Feige is hoping to be able to, by not locking them into long-term contracts, being able to open them up to doing other things for the Disney properties and the Marvel properties, the smaller TV shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe give them a little breathing room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bobby says he predicts Sylvie will betray Loki in the end.
Quite possibly. You might be onto something.
Hey, there's Gabriella. We talked about you at the beginning of this episode.
Hey!
There she is.
The deal. Nice of you to join us. I'm glad you found us here.
I think one of the last people with a long-term contract still outstanding with Marvel is Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Really?
I think he's got 2 or 3 left on. He signed
That's okay, Gabrielle. You can watch it from the beginning if you want.
A 9-deal contract, and he's still they're not counting like the little end scene cameos. They're not counting those, and they're not counting Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we still have Bucky coming about in the movie, in a couple of movies.
I sure hope so. Hope so.
Yeah, me too.
So here's a prediction based on nothing whatsoever. What if Loki and Sylvie have a child together? Is that the thing that fractures the multiverse?
Ooh.
Where did you even come up with this? Oh my God. That is awesome.
Interesting.
That's my stupid theory.
I will say,
based on nothing. This could end exactly like Bobby said, where Sylvie ends up breaking Loki's heart, because that would be probably an appropriate end for this, where something happens and she's like, I'm a Loki.
I still, I still
stabs
think
him in the back.
I still think that there's a possibility that she's not
talking
an
about
actual
that
Loki.
next.
I still think that there's a possibility that she's not a Loki.
That's possible. We're going to talk about what if here in just a second. Bobby's mind is blown.
Yeah, I got a feeling, because
Steve says it's Kid Loki.
Because if you go back and look at Sylvie in the comics,
we've talked. There's no doubt that she has Enchantress qualities, and Enchantress's name is Sylvie.
Right, it's Sylvie.
So if nothing else,
Enchantress, that is
right. So
and
if nothing else, they are drawing on that.
Apparently, that's an Easter egg too, based on her costume.
Yeah, I noticed that
the costume she has in the series.
The circles on her armbands.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's straight up from the Enchantress's outfit.
So that's my stupid prediction. To be honest with you, I have no idea where this thing is going, and that's wonderful. Like at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I had a very good idea where it was going, and it absolutely came across exactly like that. I think that WandaVision pretty much played out exactly the way that I expected. Mm-hmm. This one, I don't know. I don't know how this is going to. I don't know if Loki's making it out of this thing. I don't know if we're going to see Kang. Is possible. I don't know if it's the one above all or whatever who's going to be the bad guy. I don't know if this is going to be the ramifications that gives us Spider-Man with the what's the name of the new Spider-Man?
No Way Home.
No Way Home, which is going to be a fractious multiverse extravaganza. Or Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Is this the beginning of that? I don't know. I thought that
Wasp and Quantumania.
Is it going to lead to the Quantumania? I mean, 'cause the next 3 big movies that we're going to see are going to be wrapped up into multiverse stuff. Yeah. And this is all about the multiverse. Is this just the cracker that clears the palate, or is this the first course of that meal?
Hey, and let's not forget, even though we're getting Spider-Man coming up here first, dealing with this, we don't know. I mean,
thanks, Steve.
Like tomorrow,
see you on Tuesday. We will be talking on Tuesday night.
Yeah,
I have no idea who's going to be on there, but on Tuesday night we will be talking about Black Widow. No doubt about it.
Yeah. And like I said, Friday, like tomorrow is Black Widow. We don't know what kind.
Tomorrow night's Black Widow.
We don't know what kind of end scene, and mid-credit scenes we're going to get out of that movie.
Yeah, Gabriella says no matter where it's going, I love it. Me too.
And we've got Shang-Chi. We don't know what kind of.
Same for Bobby.
The
keeps me coming back.
Yep. You know, what is it? The Eternals.
Steve wants to go see Black Widow with you. Dallas, bless you, Beth.
Let me know, Steve. Right now, I'm actually broker than broke, but I do have some on hand cash.
I hear that. I think we'll miss out on Kang like we missed out on Mephisto. They're just too big to casually toss into the last episode. That's entirely possible.
But then again,
it's just too big a deal.
But then again, we've never had the big bad cast this early before either.
That's the only thing that makes me think that we are going to see Kang, is because and we talked about this on an episode or two earlier. He was cast in 2019. It's like, Marvel never tells you this thing. They cast people and they're like, we don't know who they're going to play. In this one, they said, and he's Kang.
Right.
Yeah, right.
His name is something Majors, and he's playing Kang.
Yeah. Thanks, like, guys, by the way.
It's like, why are they tipping their hat on that? I thought it was that's what makes me think, because he's going to be in Quantumania, we know that, but why they're not filming Quantumania even now? So why hire him in 2019? Why name him in 2019? Mm-hmm. Why say he's going to play Kang in 2019? Well, they were probably filming Loki in 2019. Could be wishful thinking.
Didn't they announce him before the whole COVID thing happened too?
I think it was during. It was actually right after. What's the HBO series?
We hope it's good
year?
too. I've heard good things so far from people. Love Country.
Lovecraft Country.
Lovecraft Country.
It was right after Lovecraft Country. It was actually last year that they made the announcement. So, like after Lovecraft Country,
Spider-Man, Ant-Man, WandaVision, Loki, all interested in the multiverse of madness. It's all multi. Look, they're all dipping their. Something is going to happen that's going to absolutely fracture this universe, and maybe it's the kid of Loki and Sylvie. You heard it here.
We don't know.
Bless you.
It'd be fun if it was.
We're blessing. We're blessing.
Thanks, guys. They were blessing me for sneezing.
You're getting a lot of blessing. You are getting blessed bombed.
I am.
Kang and What If? Oh, we're about to let's get
to that.
Yeah.
Let's just get into it, folks. Let's just do it. If I can get to my stupid thing here. What If, folks? Today was the launch of that What If trailer. It's 2 minutes long. They give us a lot.
And they gave us the date, August 11th.
Yep.
That's quick.
Yeah.
That's a month away, folks.
So
we're
guess
one month away.
So guess what our next spoiler alert's going to be about?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that, folks. Yeah. Spoiler alert on the spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
But we're going to talk about What If in the next round of stuff. And man, does What If look good?
Awesome.
The animation looks amazing. If I'm reading this right, are they saying T'Challa is a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Supposedly, this is one of the last things that Chadwick Boseman was able to do.
It's his voice.
Before he passed away.
It's also Robert Downey Jr.'s voice as Tony Stark. I mean, they got the actual people to do these voices. How amazing is this? You've got, it looks like Killmonger is somehow tied to Tony Stark. Whatever they are doing, man, feed me more. I want it. It is really good looking. It has the original actors who are doing the voices on this, and they are doing some bonkers stuff. Maybe Kang is in What If. That would make sense.
I mean, What If has probably been one of my favorite comics of, as a kid.
I always loved What If too, back when I was a kid. Yeah.
And one of the recent entries, and this is the reason why we need the Punisher back. Like one of the most recent issues was What If Peter Parker were the Punisher? Yes.
Wow! So he got mad that Uncle Ben got axed.
He had Spider-Man
crazy.
He had the Spider-Man powers and all that stuff, but instead of being Spider-Man, he was the Punisher.
He became the Punisher.
Wow, that's good stuff.
So
my favorite old comic of What If. I think it was What If, and it might have been a Marvel team up, was where Red Sonja and Spider-Man meet each other. Somehow Red Sonja, back when Marvel was doing Red Sonja,
Yeah.
Red Sonja appeared in modern times, and Spider-Man teamed up with her through some amulet or something, you know.
Yeah.
I was a big Red Sonja and a big Spider-Man fan at the time, so that was a big deal. That was kind of a what if.
We got a lot of good things that came out of What If, you know. And then What If disappeared.
He's laughing about the kid theory.
Yeah.
That's probably just silly, but if it happens, you heard it here.
Well, you know, them having that little romantic connection was causing a very strange nexus.
Just
event.
them touching each
Yeah.
other was making the timeline go bonkers.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah, the trailer for What If, that's what we're talking about. It is cool with their voices, for sure. Yeah, I mean, they could literally do these forever. Since this is literally a mass up of all of their stuff. I like the Agent Carter version instead of whatever Captain America or Captain Britain.
Carter. She was Captain
Carter. Yeah. With the British flag or
she was Captain Britain. Actually, she was the original Captain Britain.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's got the shield. She's got the powers.
She was the original Captain Britain.
Sign me up.
And if you paid attention to any of the earlier teaser trailers, I'm
a huge Red Sonja fan. Still,
Steve Rogers takes on the Iron Man suit built by Tony Stark's dad. And they're
the original. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Kind of a steampunk Iron Man.
Yeah.
What if is one of my favorite what ifs was the Wolverine as the Punisher during Prohibition in the 1920s.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites. Man, I'd love to see Hugh Jackman do that. Oh God, my heart.
You mentioned Hugh Jackman. This week, Hugh Jackman was seen in a picture with Kevin Feige.
Yes, he was, and
had put that out on his whatever Twitter, Instagram.
He had it out on his
and
Twitter
then right after that, had a photo of like Wolverine's arm with the claws extended.
Yeah, you know what?
I don't. Maybe that's nothing. Maybe it's not nothing.
Hugh Jackman said that if they were to do an alternate universe Wolverine, which we could very well get, since
that was a good one.
All of the timelines messed up, he would consider coming back if the script was right.
Like maybe a multiverse, folks.
Old Man Logan.
Oh, dude, and I love that. They should have him do that. I've just read about 40 issues of Old Man Logan, and I love that universe that they've created. It was kind of like the version of Logan that we got in that last movie, but wow. I would love to see Hugh Jackman.
Honestly, I need
that
him
character
in
again.
Deadpool. I need his Wolverine in Deadpool.
Well, we know that Deadpool's coming too.
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool also if in any of these multiverse stories we get glimpses of Maestro? If you don't know who Maestro is basically Old Man Hulk.
Yep.
Oh yes,
and he's a ruthless.
He's nasty.
Very nasty.
I like the
Earth.
I like the one where the Gray Hulk or whatever that is the mobster.
Oh yeah.
I love that storyline.
Mr. Fix It.
I love that storyline. I wish we'd get that. Ryan says the Spider-Man episode with the comic with his where he keeps the cosmic powers.
Where he had
the power
Captain Universe.
Yeah, he had that briefly. Yeah. So did Aunt May, didn't she? Wasn't she in a what if?
That was a what if story as well. What if
where she was the golden oldie?
Yeah. Yep. The power cosmic. Yeah. She was
what
made
if is
she was made the herald of
Galactus.
Of Galactus, yep.
Look, that's what if stuff is fun, folks.
It's fun.
I mean, some was made a herald of Galactus in one of the what ifs as well, if I remember correctly.
I think we'd all like to see Jackman, even if it's not I mean, with this multiverse stuff, they can bring back everyone, even if it's just for 5 minutes, or for one movie or for one episode or something.
I'll take a cameo. Because personally, I still want to see.
Hulk had the Wolverine skeleton.
Yeah.
That was one of the what ifs. Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's a problem.
I still want to see a 5 foot.
That's a problem.
Wolverine.
I think we all do. I think we'd like to see the actual
5'3" Wolverine in his yellow and purple bodysuit.
Who's
with you.
Jacked.
Yes.
Not Hugh jacked, but just jacked.
Jacked.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I want to see a 5 foot.
He could be Patch.
Oh yeah, Patch would be good. I mean, we've been to what is it, Madripoor.
I think that we are. I suspect that Jackman is going to show up with Deadpool, whatever, and it may not be in the way that you think. I don't know, but I mean, they have teased Hugh Jackman and Deadpool, for the past decade.
And Ryan Reynolds and
Ryan
Hugh
Reynolds
Jackman are such good. They are such close friends.
Oh,
that I can't see him not doing that.
I mean,
absolutely.
Who are they not close friends?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I know, right?
As if Hulk needs to have like adamantium laced a skeleton. That's insane.
Exactly,
that's insane.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, Alpha Flight. They were talking about an Alpha Flight movie after Logan.
I would like to see.
There
Alpha
it is.
Flight
Joe
too.
Fixit. Ryan would like to see Joe Fixit too. We're just going down. They have to do that. Definitely, Gabrielle.
Yeah.
We're all fanboying and fangirling right now with the possibilities. Does anyone have any final thoughts on Loki or anything else that anything else that we've talked about here today?
You know what? I wish it were Wednesday right now.
Yeah,
I wish
because
it were Wednesday right now.
This is gonna be a rough week to get through, not knowing what's going on, not knowing
It
what
is.
they're gonna walk into.
You know what's going to be more rough? What's going to be more rough is after next week, we've got to wait. We've got to wait a full month before we get What If.
But guess what? In that full month, I can get the book crew up and running.
Hey, there you go.
Right.
Yay.
Well,
you go.
speaking of that
There
sort
we
of
go.
thing, Beth, why don't you tell us a little bit about where people can find you? And look at this, we got the full crawl this time.
Wow, you really updated. Look at you go. So you can find me. We'll start with Facebook since it's right there. You can find me on Facebook.com, BA Freely. If you love reading, well, just toss a couple of reviews up on Goodreads, or you can find my books on there. You can also find me on my website at bethandfreely.com. And if you ever lose track of spoiler alert episodes, man, you can find them on my website. I link back to them on there.
Yeah.
My business website for book editing and website building is themusesfunhouse.com, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BAFreely.
I heard that website is recently completed.
Yes, I completely revamped the Muses Funhouse website and took a lot of stuff off it and just kind of pared down my freelancing to building websites, specifically author websites, although I'll build any website if you want one, and book editing for other authors and stuff. And that's all that's on it, and I finally finished it off last night. So it does link over to my author website as well. So if you're looking for my books and stuff, you can find all my books on my author website.
What's Book Crew?
The Book Crew. Book Crew is coming to you from Taskforce Geek. I will be running, hopefully starting here within the next week or so, the Book Crew podcast, where I will be talking to other authors and also offering up tips and tricks on writing. As a matter of fact, I'm working on the first kind of PowerPoint slide for anyone who wants to get started writing. Is basically called How to Write a Novel, an author's perspective. That was actually on my blog this week, and I'm going to turn it into a little, here's a down and dirty way to get started.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Very excited about Book Crew and about your projects. And, I told you guys before this thing that I'm and actually during this thing, I guess I got off on that tangent. I'm going to start writing pretty seriously again.
I was serious, man. If you want editing help, let me know.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. And Steve, it's short for Filled with Glorious Purpose. Who's asking? I could do this. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Otherwise, I was just filled with glow.
Yeah,
so,
for the glow.
Just filled with glow.
That works too. let's see what. Oh, I was going to say, I'm gearing up to do some writing, so I am very much into your book crew thing and all of the other stuff that you're doing. I'm very, I just did notes on 5 different books on plotting. I mean, that's how insane.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting into this thing, and I'm hoping to be pumping out quite a few books, many of which you will not see, but I will. you will not see on here, but I will share the other book, the Agent Taurus and the Scream. I will share that probably publicly to get started with.
Good. I hope so.
Yeah, Steve says
we're all looking forward.
I
to
will
reading
post
that,
the conspiracy book,
I
and we'll be taking your thoughts about what's happening in it and all that sort of stuff.
If you guys check out my Amazon page,
Bobby says nothing wrong with a little glow.
you guys will probably notice there is 1 or 2 books on there that are not mine. I recently edited some books for a friend of mine from Twitter, and she listed my name as editor on Amazon, which I thought was great. I noticed it last night that she had actually listed it on there.
That's great.
Yeah. So that's me.
All right, I'm going to take your deal off, and I'm going to go to the Waltonator.
Hey, as you can see, this is me right here, and you can find me at these web links right here. Also, if you're ever on Twitch, you notice that there's the Twitch and the PS Network thing there. That cat is having a glorious time.
He is wanting in here so bad.
Having a moment.
So if you're ever on the PlayStation, if you play PlayStation, you can hook up with me there. If you're a Gran Turismo player, like me and Steve are both Gran Turismo players, you can hook up with me there. And I offer, let's see which hand, this logo right here, for anybody who friends me, can use this logo in the game for this. You can make your own car like that.
Pretty sweet.
And you can join us, me and Steve. We're actually trying to form our own Taskforce Geek Racing League.
All right.
And we're still working on that and how to get that working. But if you friend me, like actually friend me, you have access to that logo. You can make your own race car liveries. You have this new logo and the old logo, and you can make your own car, your own liveries, or you can just mooch off of the ones that I made. Steve has also made a few. I think he shared them. You can mooch off of him as well if you want.
Hey, I think I heard some. Does that have sound?
Yes, that does have sound.
I think I just heard the cars.
You can hear the cars racing by there.
I got to figure out how to do that so I can play some sound pops.
As you can see there, that's me racing there.
Yeah, I think I can hear some sound. That's cool, man.
So yeah, so you can you can connect with me on any of these places here.
Let me put some. Let's see. Gigi says, I have to say, Walt has delivered a command performance today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Steve says, whoa, Walter got all techie on us with the screen pops. Right? And he says, TFG Racing, go Steve Racer, go.
That's kind of his handle there. But yeah, we want to start a Taskforce Geek Racing League, and we are one of our things that we thought about as a prerequisite is you have to do your own car liveries, and they have to be pop culture related. No racing. No racing. You know. A lot of people like to do remakes of actual racing cars and all that stuff. We don't want to see that. We want you to pop in your best Wolverine.
We want you to create like a Rox car.
A Roxxon race car, Roxxon Racing. Maybe do a little Finn and Jake.
Bobby says, Bobby says Easy Racer X.
Yeah, there you go. So, if you're interested in that, hit us up. Last thing, I'll mention this after.
Heck yes, Steve.
I'll mention this after Dirk gives out his things before we end. So, but that's what I have.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Steve says post the. I will post the conspiracy. I got to figure out. Well, I got to get the plot down first, and then I gotta look at that kitty cat.
This is Peanut Butter, guys. Say hi.
As soon as I get the plot down, I literally am just going to write the thing straight to the internet, and kind of let the fates carry me. So hopefully I don't get stuck about 3 chapters in and go, oh, I should have done this different.
That's when he's going to be going, I need your help.
It will definitely be re-edited before I put it out on Amazon, but I'm trying to create a little buzz and get some thoughts on it because it's going to have some crazy crap in it. Oh my gosh, there's more stuff here. Let me catch up. Yes, Steve, it's time to crank out TFG swag. Gabrielle loves the cat, so do I.
Thank you, Gabrielle. Thank you, Dirk.
You're welcome. All right, so let's see my banners. Let's go. There's all my
She's never
stuff.
far from mom. I'll put it to you that way.
And I will play my video.
Kind of like this one right here.
Yep, that one.
Right. Yep. Always there.
Always there.
All right. Here's my video. Oh, that's not my video. Sorry.
Oops. Try again. One more.
Hey, yo. Here it comes. Hello, my name is Dirk Hooper. I'm a comic artist and illustrator looking for work right now. I've been doing art professionally for well over 2 decades, and my art has been in 3 comics, several art books, novels, and magazines. And I've had work in galleries in the Netherlands, England, Belgium, China, and all over the United States. I offer comic-style illustrations, sequential art, and digital paintings on a wide variety of genres, including sci-fi, fantasy, gritty noir stuff, and bad girls. You can find more about me and my work at Rainkin Studios. Contact me today to commission your custom artwork. Thank you. So there's my pitch. What are we bringing back? Are we bringing sexy back? What are we bringing back, Bobby? The cat?
I can bring the cat back if that's what you want. I can, she's right here.
Gabriella says that's how it should be, always with the family.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to have that. They're part of the family.
Yeah, I've actually got 2 dogs in this room with me. You can't see the other one. He's over here.
I just completed 3 illustrations for a Japanese
toy company.
A toy company, an adult toy company. And they have accepted them. It's a done deal. Yes. And they said that it will be printed in about a month. So that's a big thing. Besides that, you can. I've been running my thing here for a minute. You can check me out on all this stuff. If you're watching this episode, you're already hooked up with me, probably.
I may buy one of them just so I can have you autograph the packaging.
Holy cow!
I love it, Walt.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing.
Bobby says bring back the whole show. We'll be back. We'll be back on Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central, and we will be back at the same time next week on Thursday at 3 p.m. Central. It's definitely Hasbone toys.
That's great.
One last thing I'd like to mention before we go off the air, before we sign off, if you have,
she likes the Hasbone.
If you have any geekery news out there for us, be sure to hashtag us on Instagram, on Twitter, or any place else with hashtag Taskforce Geek, all one word. Please be sure to hashtag us. You may notice that there's very few things hashtagged Taskforce Geek on both of those platforms. So be sure, if you see anything,
it'll find us.
If you just want to, if you can't find us on any of those,
I'll set up an alert.
If you just can't find us in particular, and you have something to say to us, just hashtag
Bobby's doing voice work too,
and we'll find it. So
keep that in mind, Bobby.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
You have a great evening.
You all have a good one.
Nice to see you back, man. All right, folks. I think that's it. That's enough. That's 2 hours of stuff. We didn't even cover everything I had notes for. I could go another 3 hours, but I got another interview coming up in 2 hours.
Yeah,
and I got to start.
Take care of that.
I got to start getting ready for that.
We can save all that for next week because that's the season finale or the series finale.
Yep.
We don't know. There might be another Loki series. So,
Bobby says, "Remain blessed." Thank you very much. We appreciate
you too,
that.
Bobby.
You too, man.
Thank you. Thank you for Thanks for tuning in with us. We appreciate you coming here. Ryan's still with us. He says, "You guys rock. You rock, Ryan."
Thanks, Ryan.
You're going to need a large cloak for me if I'm going to appear down there. It's going to have to be large.
It's going to have to be tall if Steve shows up.
If Steve shows up, you're going to need like some sort of thing. Like who was that guy? His name was Christo, who used to take tapestries and put it over mountains or castles or something. He was like he did like art installations across like the landscape. You're going to need that for Steve.
Yeah.
You'll just need a small tent for me.
Everybody.
I will be happy just to be on the set and to be, to just be involved in that way.
I could just be a reporter. That's all.
Right.
Just let us come and watch.
Yeah. I would just be happy to be on a movie set and kind of, involved in that way because that would be a lot of fun for me. Maxine says, great. And thank you for chiming in too, Maxine.
Thanks, Mom. I'll get ready. Be prepared for my phone call.
Make sure he calls you, Mom.
Gabrielle's got the clock set for us.
No. Make sure your ringer is on, Mom.
We'll be looking for you, Gabrielle.
Yeah, absolutely. Please check us out. Tuesday night 7 and 7 p.m. Central, and then 3 p.m. Central on Thursday for this, our last spoiler alert, until What If comes out. Unless we do something, we might do a pop-up. We might do a little pop-up video.
Yeah.
And Steve says, watch the horns, Walt, man.
No, that would be this. I did this. This is rock and roll, man. Rock and roll. Excuse me.
German time.
This.
You know what?
Walt.
If I had 30 seconds, I could come up with the German time. I have a thing called Time Buddy that will, because I deal with people literally from around the world. My clients, the client that I'm going to be interviewing today is in Australia, and I have another one who's in England and another one who's in Poland currently. And so I have to know the central time around the world. But anyway, it's 2 hours. It'll be 2 hours before now on Thursday, and then 7 p.m. Central. Thwip, Bobby goes.
That would be that.
Maxine goes, okay, Walt. Gabriella says it's midnight, I guess, there.
Oh, wow.
So I guess 10 p.m. German time. I love the fact that we have someone watching us in Germany.
By the way, Gabriella.
That's insane.
By the way, Gabriella, I just
Hey,
want to
Steve says 2 a.m. Look at this.
I just want to say this, Gabriella, and Steve will confirm this. My bucket list is to go to the Nürburgring.
What is that?
That's on Caitlin's bucket list too.
What is that?
It's this massive racetrack. It's massive. I'll just say that when I run it on Gran Turismo, the fastest I can get around it is about 8 minutes and 17 seconds.
Let me say that in my other life, there is a thing called the German Fetish Ball that happens every year, and I would love to go to Germany for that. Oh, my people there in Germany who love this crap even more than I do.
I would love to kind of witness that.
I'm with Walt on that one.
The problem is, someone contacted me today. I live two lives, folks, and asked me if I wear fetish, like latex stuff, and it's like, no, I look stupid in latex stuff. But some of them will allow you to wear a suit, and I have a couple of suits I could wear.
There you go.
I've seen
sometimes they will let me dress up.
I've seen some of those suits, and you have some badass suits, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that, but me, no one wants to see me in latex stuff. That looks ridiculous.
No one wants to see me in that either.
It's bad.
I don't think anybody wants to see me in that for sure. So
it's bad,
good.
But I look in a suit. I look like
There you go. There's
Kingpin.
Steve.
I look like the Kingpin in a suit.
There you go.
Gabrielle says cool.
There's
Bobby says 1 lap.
Yeah, and Steve gave you the distance on that lap there.
She wants to know if we visit Germany. I mean, I would be on the plane tomorrow if I had the money to go.
Same here.
No joke, because Germany's still on my bucket list.
I've been to Italy Switzerland, France, and England. Unfortunately, I've not been to Germany.
I don't count the one and a
Belgium.
half. I don't count the 1.5 hour layover in Munich as being in Germany.
Yeah,
I've
that doesn't count.
I've been to the United States.
I've been to. Nothing wrong with that. Look, folks, we gotta bring it home at some point. Thanks everyone for I mean, we had a lot of people who participated today. We deeply appreciate that. I cannot tell you enough how much we it's so much more fun to do this show. You guys probably extended this by about 45 minutes, I might say, but
which is okay. Don't get us wrong.
I love that. I love that. I think that's wonderful. We had so much participation today. We really do love your input, and all of you, all of our regulars, and then the new people that came by. It's fantastic. Thank you. Thank you all for watching and for participating. It makes such a difference in the quality of the show, to be honest with you. Also, thanks to Beth and to Walt. Walt is doing the thumbnails and doing some promotion for the show. I have to think that maybe a little bit of promotion's gone a long way to bringing some people to watch us. So thanks to both of you for the promotion and for being prepared and for coming with a great attitude. God, that makes such a big difference. You know, we have guests on the show that are like stone-faced and uninterested. It makes such a difference that you guys are engaged and informed and present for this stuff and help out behind the scenes too. Thank you both very much.
You're welcome.
Thank
you for letting us be part of it.
Gabriella is coming to US. You come to US, not only will I welcome you here, but we'll shoot together if you want to do that. In another life, I won Best Fetish Photographer 3 years in a row. I am the reigning, undisputed, undefeated, uncontested, three-time Best Fetish Photographer in the world.
Dirk, deep breath, honey, please.
Yeah, we can't quit you either, Steve. Brian says I was not. Gabriella says you're crazy. I am a little crazy, but I'm also a good photographer.
Yes.
She's dying right now. Legitimately a good photographer. I've won awards. That's it, folks. Thanks to everyone for being on here one last time. Thanks to the gang. Until next time, and the next time is next Thursday. Oh, we got one more comment. Gabriella knows I'm a good photographer. Thank you, Gabriella. Until next time, this is Dirk Hooper saying, dream hard.